We're gonna wait on Hazel coming back here. Our guest today is Hazel Heyer, and I hope she comes back here. And let's hope that she comes back soon. Today I'm going to be talking with Hazel again from Orlando. She is a KW agent in Orlando. Hopefully she hops back soon. And I will share my screen here. Let's see if I can share my screen. Okay, you're back.
Hi, sorry.
No, that's okay.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good morning from the Sunshine State.
Okay, good morning as well. Hey, we're live on Facebook, and let me just check the recording really quick. I want to make sure that, okay, we're recording, and Hazel, I will share this MP4 file with you, and you can also post this on your YouTube channel if you so decide so. My name is Bobby Taruc. A quick intro on myself for those who don't know us and who'll be watching this later on YouTube and everywhere else. Again, my name is Bobby Taruc with Team Taruc out of the Glen Ellyn office. Our market center name is Premier Properties. I don't know if you can see that on my backdrop or virtual background, but our guest today is Hazel, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Heyer?
Heyer.
Heyer from Orlando. Got to know Hazel. She's pretty active as well with the ARIA, Association of Real Estate, Asian Real Estate Associates in America, I believe is the correct acronym. And you're pretty active with that as well. I just got active with it since late last year. So I've embraced this as a group or organization advocacy group to move forward Asians in home ownership. So that's my advocacy as well.
Oh, that's outstanding. Outstanding. Bobby, thank you for inviting me today. And
For sure. Hey, Hazel, quick intro on yourself. If that's okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, again, I'm Hazel Heyer. I am a realtor and commercial agent here in Florida, based in Orlando, the city of Orlando, what we call the City Beautiful, on Orange County. I've been here in Florida for over 25 years, raised my son. I was a journalist back then. We came all the way from Dubai, and I was a TV reporter there, and I covered a lot of business news and a lot of things going on in Dubai. And I've decided to spread my love here in Florida. We moved here, and I also became a journalist here. I covered a lot of destinations, travel destinations, and I was the editor for eTurbo News for the mainland, which they call the mainland because they're based in Hawaii. After that, I decided to do real estate back in 2006, as I feel like all my contacts will just go to waste if I do not make full use of them monetarily. So, and that's where I'm at now. I'm a commercial agent here too. I sell multifamilies, apartment buildings, my favorite, and land and offices. At the same time, investment properties for a lot of people who want to buy vacation homes. That's why I think Bobby invited me. By the way, Bobby, you and I came from the same university in the Philippines.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you about that.
Okay. But I think you're smarter than me because you're architect. I was only industrial engineer.
So what Hazel's referring to for those watching is that we came from the same, for our bachelor's degree, we came from University of the Philippines in the Diliman campus in Quezon City. So fellow alumni as well with University of the Philippines, and that's what Hazel is referring to. However, what Hazel has not mentioned is that Hazel is performing this business at a very high level. So Hazel, really quick, if you can share business volume of last year.
Wow.
If you don't want to share, that's totally okay.
just 1 month that I did 4 million in December.
Okay.
And 1 million this month, 1 million last month. So
wow,
I'm blessed.
So at least for Illinois, it's very seasonal for us in December. That's very a low month. Something to keep in mind. She did 4 mil, and just for this month alone, already have done 1 mil, and that's just 1 month. And how many ever months we have to go? And she hasn't even disclosed January and February. So Hazel's performing this at a very high level. So Hazel, congratulations, kudos
Thank
to
you.
your achievements right there. So Hazel, I have a PowerPoint presentation which I quickly put together. So we'll walk you through what Hazel would like to talk to you about. And I think a lot of questions in people's mind is why, let me go through, I'm getting distracted here with this PowerPoint. Give me a second. I think a lot of the very questions that people have in their mind is, given that there's granted, there's a lot of quite a bit of uncertainty with the environment, business environment today. Interest rates are rising. We have supply chain issues, and also in the forefront of people's mind is this war in Ukraine. So can we talk about that and talk about your service area that you cover? And can you see my screen? Are you able to see my screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about your service area, your expertise, and everything else that we'd like to cover today. So please, did I lose her? I lost her again. Let's wait for Hazel to come back.
I'm sorry, I don't know
No,
why.
that's okay.
I was looking at your screen and then we got disconnected.
No, that's okay. So Hazel, I'm not sure where
you were talking about the war in Ukraine, inflation.
Yeah, let's go high level first. So let's talk about what's the current sentiment, at least for your clientele right now. Let's talk about that really quick.
Well, as you know, this inflation is at a high 40-year high, at 7% due to the supply shortage. The forecast is to dip it 2% as government will try to control rising prices, inflation, hopefully. Due to this, there will be a polarizing effect in our economy and our population, our demographics, in which I believe, and I've heard from economists, the rich gets richer. Hopefully, the other rest of the community can catch up. There will be some distress sales. This may be a positive news for the rest of us. Homes may be underwater, and mortgages only 6%. Credit conditions will loosen up on the jumbo and non-QM loans. And the new home stats, there'll be 2.7 new homes to be built. Sorry, in 2007, but in 2021, there'll be a smaller number, which is 1.123 million to be built. We may hit recession, I've been told, but it depends on how the war in Ukraine will pan out. This has escalated to a global impact on the energy market, financial and equities market. And the feds have to step in and set the race to raise rates 3 times in 2002, but they get more aggressive based on the data that they're receiving about the war in Ukraine. You make me talk like a journalist again.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I used to cover wars too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I know it may put a damper on everybody's attitude, but I think being a KW agent, we're taught about taking care of our mindset first, and we can only control what we can control. So I don't want to digress and totally go bring us to a different direction. So let's talk about the service area that you cover.
Okay, but basically, you know that I cover Florida.
Yep.
It's the favorite destination for U.S. and international buyers seeking to buy investment homes,
Hmm.
vacation homes, or homestead. The state has been one of the hottest real estate markets in the country, and for good
Hmm.
reason. We are
Hmm.
bordered by the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic Ocean, Alabama, and Georgia.
Hmm.
And because of our world-class theme parks, especially, we are we have become the favorites of the Rust Belt states or the Northeast. They're looking for a change in the weather and a favorable tax climate, more importantly.
Yep.
And our economy is very dynamic and
Hmm.
diverse with dozens of global business headquarters coming to town.
Hmm.
Bobby.
So it's not what you're saying. What I'm hearing is Disney and Epcot Center and all of the other theme parks, leisure economy is not the only driver for people coming into this part of Florida. So there's a whole lot of other factors then. Is that what you're saying?
We have a huge hospitality industry here.
Right.
Yeah, that may be catching up. And because we have the coastlines, long coastlines, so to speak, with lots to offer, our tourist industry is one of our main staples here in Florida.
Right.
So we're trying to catch up. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you, despite, again, I'm sorry, but the
Hmm.
pandemic and what's happening in Ukraine, we are still, I believe, I heard, we would be perhaps the state of choice for tourist destinations because a lot of people, a lot of Americans would like to travel to Europe or, you know,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
travel to,
Hmm.
yeah, because of the war and travel to other
Hmm.
areas where they require COVID vaccinations. So Florida becomes a natural choice for them, hopefully.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, just looking at quick look at the service area that you cover. It probably stands to reason a lot of these communities and towns are concentrated along I-4 and then kind of like the bypass towards Buenaventura Lakes. Talk to us about how you focus on these specific communities and also close to Conway. How,
Oh, so
how,
you
how did
meant,
that come about, your specific communities that you are an expert on and have quite a bit of clients? How did that
a
come
good
about is
question.
the
A good
question.
question.
Hmm.
Good question, Bobby. On the personal side, I live here. I live right in the middle of all the vacation hometowns, right in the middle. I live
Wow.
15 minutes from Disney. My
Hmm.
first Keller Williams office was in Celebration, the city that Walt Disney built
Hmm.
to cater to the residential component of Disney World. And of course, I also bought a vacation home. I lived in Hawaii, and then when I came here, uh, with nothing much to bring with me from my condo in Hawaii, I decided to buy a vacation home. So
Hmm.
I live in one of the um, I would say one of the oldest or veteran towns for vacation home rentals, and I live in a vacation home for 20 years now, 25 years. Yeah.
Wow.
This is why this is my area.
Yep, absolutely. And we're always coached to focus on the community that we live and serve people at a high level. Of course, the people that live within our community, instead of thinking about, oh, I want to serve Schaumburg as an example, or I want to serve Yorkville, which is further half hour to 45 minutes away. So yeah, good point. Really, we need to serve and continue to serve where we live and the people where we live. So communities that you serve, do you want to do a quick run through? What's
Yes.
unique about every single community that you serve? Because I
Yes,
think
sir.
more often than not, there's actually differences between one town and another. So run us through these different communities.
Right, right, right. Of course, like I said, Celebration, the first city there, was my first city of my Keller Williams office was there. That's the city that Walt Disney built to house the residential component of Disney. I think he built that trying to connect Epcot, the monorail, to actually end in Celebration. But prior to that, he passed on prior to opening Epcot and Celebration. Celebration is a world-class city, and you can see it if you Google it, it resembles some looks of Disney. Claremont is a little further away from Davenport. There's only one zip code that will do Airbnbs. If you want me to talk about Airbnbs there,
yeah, we will. Yep.
Yeah, there's only one zip code that's closest to the next city of Davenport, which is on your list. So the next zip code closest to Davenport from Claremont is the only zip code that allows Airbnb short-term rentals. Not all of Claremont, although Claremont is beautiful, and of all flat cities, flat level areas, terrain of Florida, Claremont has hills.
Oh,
like
okay.
chocolate hills.
Nice.
Yeah, Kissimmee is part of Disney. It sits in Kissimmee, and another part sits in Orlando. So you will have, as a matter of fact, the Highway 192 is actually in the Kissimmee area. It's called Highway 192, or Earlo Bronson Highway. Earlo Bronson sold Disney to Walt Disney. Orlando is, of course, our major city here, City Beautiful. A lot of things are going on in Orlando, and there's several areas that the medical city, which is the initiative of the government to connect the medical field of Orlando to Disney, has been built a long time ago. Medical arts. By the way, I need to plug this, Robert. Medical arts, the medical arts district, or what they call Lake Nona City, has been identified by Disney to house 2,000 of its employees in California. They're moving them all to the executives. They're moving them all to Orlando, the city called Lake Nona, which is in the medical city. Orlando Central is where we have our downtown, the business, our business district. And Southwest doesn't do much of the Airbnbs, but Reunion, I think you spotted a few communities here. Reunion is a huge, actually, I own the property there. Reunion is one of the very first largest three golf course communities. There are three golf courses there built by Arnold Palmer, Tom Watson, and Jack Nicklaus, father and son, and that's the biggest one in Florida in this area, followed by Champions Gate.
Wow. I love your website, by the way. Just a quick run through on your website. You have those specific communities, and you have a drill down on the community webpage as well, with key metrics in there. Unbelievable. Average listing price. I wish that was my average listing price. Price per square foot, of course, way, way higher than Illinois and Chicagoland suburbs. And then all of the active listings in here. I love your website, by the way.
Thank you.
Doing it, and hopefully I can emulate this website soon.
There's so much going on, Bobby, in Celebration right now. It's not only the Disney City that what they call it. They are now building a lot of commercial real estate there, from a beautiful, most perhaps beautiful senior home to a lot of even the Disney universities there. I will
Right.
keep going to expand on this Disney thread, because I think that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So walk us through. I think you've talked a lot, quite a bit about Orlando, Southwest Orlando. Can you recap for me what is so unique? Every single town we've talked about is pretty unique, but is there like a common thread that runs through every single town that you service? Is there a common theme that you can spot or identify with these different communities that you serve?
Oh, they're
Or
all
are they so different that I don't see commonality between these communities?
yeah. Well, those areas that I've identified for you um, are vacation home rental approved.
Okay.
Um, well, if you would focus, not all, by the way. So
Hmm.
it needs maybe a specialist like me
Hmm.
to tell them which
Hmm.
one actually does it. The common thread is HOA. All of
Okay.
90% of our homes here have HOA,
Right.
homeowners association,
Hmm.
if not a lot, especially for the new constructions and all that. We have um, uh, uh, the I think the lowest you can find there is 400 per year. They don't have amenities, let
Hmm.
alone tennis and nothing like that. However, they're all very much taken care of. Oh, I want to tell you something too.
Hmm.
Back again to the vacation home areas. One common thread is that security is high. I believe that the government, the county, the city has made it clear that they will protect tourists. So we have a lot of
Okay.
security patrolling our
Hmm.
cities.
Right. Uh, are we okay to move on to a different topic? And please stop me. And if there's anything you want to focus on, please go ahead and jump in. So I think for the question that would be a lot of viewers would be asking would be, they're not Florida residents, so there's a different personalities or personas, if you will, that would think about purchasing in Orlando. One of them would be number one, a second home, something that they can snowbird, someone like us. Another one would be an investor. They would like to do short-term rentals, either through VRBO or Airbnb. And then the other kind of similar persona would be someone who's an investor. I want to buy and hold this property, but I want to do long-term rentals. And then the fourth persona would be, of course, one of your expertise as well is commercial investments, maybe a strip mall or a medical building. So can you walk us through those different personas and spend as much time as you would like to in terms of what are your views on these investment opportunities?
Okay. Since today I can talk a lot about all those things, but today, uh, since I think I prepared to tell you about vacation home rentals, let me
Mhm.
tell you that that category of business buyers of buyers trying to get into that business, the category is hot on fire. They
Mhm.
uh, they choose to be here near Disney, and in particular, the areas of Davenport, Claremont,
Mhm.
a little bit of Haines City, Celebration. Celebration won't allow Airbnb, by the way,
Okay.
FYI. But
Mhm.
Reunion will, Champions Gate will, a few areas of Champions Gate, not the whole community. Uh, and a lot of the neighborhoods in the Davenport area, zip code 33896, all the way up to 33837. They all allow vacation homes. Depends though. There's I think one that doesn't.
Mhm.
Now the reason being is that short-term rentals during COVID, I noticed this that a lot of people have been asking me to look around that business facet, and true
Right.
enough, some of my clients who were able to, I was able to fish for them foreclosures that were off market, and some friends of mine just called me. I was able to sell those homes to them, and they made them into a short-term rental for one month or so. They made it pretty, and they made $300,000 flipping it
Wow.
twice or thrice. One client of mine made $1 million flipping 3 times what I found him in the vacation or the short-term rental. Yeah. The key is to find the property that's low price, foreclosure perhaps, and that's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Right.
Again, for vacation homes, location. The closer you are, by the way, there are some websites, if I can share them with you, if you don't mind. That
Sure. Let me stop my sharing here. Okay, go ahead.
if some of your folks are looking to promote them, there are national paid listing sites, Airbnb, VRBO, homeandaway.com, flipkey.com, vacationrentals.com, vacationhomerentals.com, perfectplaces.com, and free listing sites such as trolltraveler.com, scenicrentals.com, petvr.com, rentalspot.com, getawaydigs.com, findyourhomevacation.com, dwellable.com, adventurepads.com, freevacationrental.com, fhbo.com, escapelets, and qualityvacationrental.com. Some of my clients who have mastered putting all their listings into these sites simultaneously, Bobby, they have gained traffic like you can't imagine.
Yeah.
One client of mine, the start of 2022, she booked her house 200 days in January 2022. Once she opened the site for 200 days, so all she did was sit around and fill the rest of the 160 days out of the 360 days in a year. And she's a nurse. Yeah. Now, let me talk a little bit about the cities near. Davenport is a good city. Davenport was once dedicated to the British vacationers there. They make up maybe out of 75 million in 2018 that came here in 2018. Maybe half were British. Previous to 2018 and 2017, it was the British and the Canadians who rank high in the vacation home bookings arena here in Davenport. So Davenport sounds like very British because it is. It was actually trying to cater, I think, to them. That's what I heard. And so they love it. They love Davenport. Unfortunately, COVID had put a pause to that, but we are expecting the Canadians to come here, and still a lot of British who would try to rebuy the properties that they sold. A lot of them had sold. Yeah.
Okay.
What else were your questions? There are up and coming cities like Claremont and Haines City. I lie, they're not upcoming. They've been there, but Claremont is just a small segment of small city and Haines City is small too, where if you're not very close to the Disney radius, it's a little bit difficult to gain that traffic.
Right.
Another area that I think people should focus on, Bobby, is Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. That's a city in its own. And if people are thinking of buying properties, which I always tell my people, buy near the 2 parks, Disney and Margaritaville, so you can have, or better yet, buy closer to Universal Studios and Disney, so you can have the luxury of these vacationers trying to stay here longer because they cannot do Disney in one day. They can do Universal perhaps in one day. So
Right.
those are booked quite well. On the commercial side, I'm pretty happy that things are moving up, but we
Mhm.
have a shortage of um, multifamily, and I'm
Oh, well.
constantly, yeah, it's very difficult.
Mhm.
I can only sell up to right now 6 to 10 units. I have to
Okay.
I have to find 10 to 20 to 50 units. They're hard to find. That gave birth, that shortage gave birth to the arrival of the land developers who I also work for. So since there's a shortage of all these multifamily complexes, they started calling on me looking for multifamily land so they can develop. Uh, uh, However, um, since we're all adults here, I want to tell you the problem with trying to develop these days is the shortage of supplies and
Right.
labor,
Mhm.
which we have to be open about, open-minded, and we have to think that if our clients need multifamily developments like that, there's going to be time spent in doing that project. Therefore, I do everything.
Yep,
That's why I
absolutely.
do residential and commercial sales.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's really has impacted every single segment of the market. So that's what I'm hearing as well. When we were down in Southwest Florida by Charlotte County, they're having a hard time as well finding workers. And then spent some time as well in Vero Beach with my sister who was out there. And as we just walked around the subdivision, there was a guy doing remodeling on their house, and he was adjacent to another home that was being remodeled. And they were talking about really hard to find workers, hard to find carpenters, electricians, plumbers. So it's the same here in Illinois as well. It's pretty hard to find uh, vendors and workers, especially in remodeling space. So it's seems
Wow.
to be a national problem as well.
Bobby, I went to a developers meeting last 2 weeks ago in Jacksonville with all the top developers there, and I've been told that this may be a problem, especially gas prices went up, so they're
Right,
not able to. Um, Diesel is very expensive, so how are
right.
they able to carry or transport
Mhm.
their lumber and everything else from one point to the other if they would have to spend? So what I've heard is that it may raise prices a little bit, another level more for those who
Pressure
are
and increasing
trying to
prices.
buy. Yeah, and some
Right.
of them are also, some of them I heard are hoarding some of the developers and the builders. They're trying to keep the ACs and lumber and whatnot because they're anticipating another increase in prices. That's straight from the lion's mouth
Yeah,
of the
precisely.
developers. Yeah.
So as I talk to uh, would-be buyers or buyer clients as well, and we're working with several buyers right now as well. It's really tough sledding for them and for us as well. My philosophy is that I always encourage, and I'm preaching to myself as well, I encourage everyone to act on what we know today. What we don't know is 60 days from today. What we don't know is what the interest rates will be in 90 days or 5 months from today or 6 months from today. Nor do I have a crystal ball on what inventory is 3 months from today or July 12, which seems to be seasonally where things slow down a little bit in the Chicagoland market. Is that your mindset and how you coach buyer clients as well, to not really time the market? What's your philosophy behind that?
Robert, you're better than me asking questions as a journalist. Your questions are fun and challenging. No, those are very good questions. Yeah, what's my mindset? I'm an investor myself. What people need to do is not to wait, because we cannot speculate. We don't know where this market is going.
Right.
And maybe follow their heart. But if you watch, Bobby, the market, if I watch the market over here in Davenport on a daily basis, I see some properties go back to the market, and then some are sold. So there's always a fine balance of some going back and some getting sold. However, Bobby, the prices are still going up.
Right.
So no matter what I said about, possibly some properties going into short sale or foreclosure, the market is so strong. It's still a seller's market. Anybody who is distressed there or underwater on their mortgage, they can always catch up selling their property. I
Right.
would like to suggest buy now than later. And that's what I do. That's what I
Hey,
do.
were you, and I'm not doing my math right now, were you already in the business in 2008, 2007 to 2010? Were you already in the business?
That's my university, the recession.
Yep,
Yeah.
precisely. So I think there's a lot of concern in people's minds as well that, oh my goodness, I think this is a replay of 2008. Can you address that and allay people's fears, especially in the Orlando market, which you really know, allay people's fears around, is 2022 or early 2023 a repeat of 2008? Walk us through your thinking about that fear.
I'm happy to answer the question from the point of view of the economist who I've spoken to or I've heard in the last few months. They said that it may not be the recession that we saw in 08, 09, because this was kind of triggered by the pandemic. The pandemic, though, brought all the cash buyers out of us. We don't see it because the mortgage guidelines are very, very strong and stringent. So do you remember, Bobby, back in 08, it
It was
was
bad.
kind of the failure of the mortgage industry
Yep.
to secure the loans of the people based on their credit score. Everybody could get a house
There
that
wasn't a whole
time.
lot of due diligence and no docs.
Yes, sir. Now, things are different. This was kind of triggered by the pandemic. And then when people started to notice that they have much more money sitting at home, let alone some I heard had access to PPP loans and stuff
Right.
like that, which I won't expound anymore because I've seen some of that. Going forward, maybe a different animal, maybe a different package altogether. Do I see one as strong as long as the economy stays strong like this? It may cap, though. Some of my lenders tell me that there's going to be a cap in prices going up. The FHAs, the USDAs, the VAs have to have a home. So how
Right.
do you correct that? Inflation will correct all of these, and the mortgage rates going up will perhaps filter through those who can buy some more and compete with cash buyers. Another good thing is that I think there's a trickling number of cash buyers that are coming to Florida. I'm now seeing a lot of conventional buyers. So I guess we have exhausted the cash banks right now. But on the commercial side, somebody said, can I say something a little negative?
Yeah, you go ahead.
On the commercial side, one of the developers I interviewed last week said there may be a bubble bursting on the commercial front.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're all prepared.
Yeah. Yeah, we can
have
control what we need to control what we can control. So just my personal perspective on this one, I think to your point, COVID really has enabled enabled in a positive way what it has done to the market. Mom and dad are now able to work remotely. They need that home office room in the home, and they need that common space as well where everybody could congregate. So that's one thing. Full disclosure, we did purchase just a small condo in Southwest Florida and would be able to work remotely as well for the months of January and February. So I think a platform like Zoom, WebEx, and the team collaboration, ability to be able to not be co-located, meaning they could be everywhere, really in the world, and those teams to be still continue to be able to function and deliver work. New ways of working really has changed on how we live and how we work. And I believe that this really has been a big driver in how masses of people are now migrating. Aside from the fact, of course, demographics wise, that the millennials are aging out of mom and dad's basement and they would like to purchase their own home at this point in time. But to your point as well, the pace that home prices, at least in Chicagoland, are about 10%, or a little bit less, a shade less than 10% per year. But wages, I think the statistic I saw was less than 4% wage increases per year. So it's not sustainable. We'll see every Tuesday, the owner of the market centers within Chicagoland, Western Burbs, we review the market statistics on every Tuesday. So there may be some dampening of increases in price per square foot in the Chicagoland suburbs. But of course, our market's very different than your market. So it remains to be seen.
Bobby, I want to plug one area here that it's going against the tide. Well, I don't know. There's a place in downtown Orlando where the city of Orlando has actually massively put a lot of its investment dollars into that area. It's a little it's kind of gentrifying right now. It's a little, it was distressed. It had 50 years of dark days, but right now, which I think I know certain part of Orlando where my family used to live. Now it has become fully grown. That area has been seeing immense cap rates, and although there's nothing available in that area. So even if some people would say, I don't want to buy now, for some people like, I guess, I did invest. I'm aggressive in that area because I see some growth. You have to watch the numbers go up, the rental rates go up. And even if you think that, you can't buy, if both of those coordinates go up with the axis going up, I think it's still time to buy. And either way, whether you hold the property, it just builds up on appreciation. Whether you flip it, you still make money. You hold it, you have rentals, and rentals are going up. There are a lot of areas like that in Orlando, but you got to pick and choose.
Yep, absolutely. We're 20 minutes before the top of the hour. Hazel, I know you're really busy. You may need to hop onto your next meeting, but can you give us a last message here? Let's do this. Tailor your message to Illinoisians thinking about the purchasing in Florida, be it those four personas we talk about. But what's your message to people in Illinois thinking about investing in Florida?
Thank you for giving me the platform. I would like to address the Illinois buyers as well as perhaps other investors, because this is available on Facebook. Keep buying, finding properties out there with reasonable price. These are the challenges. I think you asked me this question. Currently, still at this time, right this minute, there's still a lot of multiple offers being traded. There's low inventory, there's bidding wars, there's wait listings in new construction, there are delays. So in order to win the bids, there are no appraisal contingencies. Winning winning these offers, multiple offers.
Right.
Higher down payments are required,
Mhm.
higher escrows are required, no
Mhm.
contingencies if you can
Wow.
drop
Mhm.
the inspection.
Mhm.
Some of them do. Although another challenge is lower appraised value, and that can be fought by your agent.
Mhm.
If you're buying furnished homes, sometimes there's poor quality furniture or no furniture at all with new construction
Mhm.
because of the supply shortage. So, and it's also difficult to buy room packages from like rooms to go. With the new construction, the wait time is very long over here, 6 to 12 months to 18 months. Um, uh, there are no heated pools and spas with those new construction, no furniture included. Higher priced, of course, and there's some competition with the FHAers and the first-time home buyers,
Mhm.
VAs, with the new builds. I want to share with you, lastly, upcoming opportunities. Disney is growing. Disney keeps growing, so there's always opportunities around Disney area. Lots of
Right.
Airbnb buyers buying here like crazy.
Mhm.
Uh, the Disney Cultural Representative Program returns to Disney World in August, and those can mean more transient homes for the Disney employees. And transient homes is equivalent to your 6-month short-term rental
Right.
with furniture.
Mhm.
Major hospitals are opening up here, around here in
Mhm.
Davenport, Claremont, and needing traveling nurses who need Airbnbs and
Yep.
vacation homes to live in, and they pay a lot.
Right.
Disney's busiest season is upon us. Easter and summer is upon us.
Mhm.
Tourists and guests need Airbnbs, and international inbound buyers are easing up at the borders, welcoming the tourists to enjoy what Florida can offer.
Right.
My best advice, if I have one last minute,
Mhm.
buy carefully, but offer quickly.
Okay.
Consider Consider market areas and proximity to the theme parks.
Mhm.
Understand that you may have to change out furniture, home features, and home decor to up your rental rates. And
Mhm.
lastly, buy from me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will find you the best property available. I help clients, Bobby, with 1031 exchanges.
Okay.
I do auctions for them. As in order to find properties, I attend auctions, courthouse auctions, and bid on auctions on behalf of clients.
Wow.
And for those who may want to buy and hold or buy and flip,
Mhm.
I'm happy to help. There's money
Yep.
to be made for one and all. And
Yep.
for the
Absolutely.
sellers out there, I'm happy to help too
Yep.
with the
Absolutely.
best price.
So I think the common theme with everything that you've talked about with your call to action is that we have a lot, the market's been really moving fast. There's a lot to make the offer really strong. We may have to waive, in essence, a lot of concessions or leverage to the seller. But what you're saying as well is go in there eyes wide open, walking with you, the broker expert, to provide great counsel and advice, but eyes wide open, fully aware of all the complexities of the purchase process, but listen to your broker agent. Please do not engage us if you're not going to listen to us. And I think lastly,
Correct.
buyers have to have, and including sellers, they have to have the stomach and capacity, mental capacity to navigate this really very different market. Did I summarize it correctly?
Perfectly.
Okay. Hey, it's
Mhm.
15 minutes to the top of the hour. Again, Hazel, thank you so much for spending time with me to converse. Hazel's full contact information will be in the comment section on Facebook. It will be in the comment section or the video description as well on YouTube. Please, if you need anything in Orlando, message Hazel, give her a call. Her phone number, direct cell phone number will be on the description as well. Give her a call. She's your go-to agent in Orlando. My name is Bobby Taruc. If you need, for those people in Illinois, if you need me to get you in touch with Hazel, I'll be happy to do so. So Hazel, thank you again. Hope to see you soon. when we're down as well in Florida.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bobby. And from the magical place on earth, enjoy the day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.